Hello. Welcome to Laura Kane After Dark. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. I'm Laura Kane. Thank you. Thank you. No, please. Thank you. Erik Rimmer.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Did you like that?
I kind of do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Do you like this?
Yeah, I do.
Should I talk like this the whole time?
Totally. I'm going to.
Is it sexy?
Yeah.
Or does it sound meek?
No. It sounds very voluptuous and sexy.
It
makes you sound like you have big, huge boobs.
But I do.
You really do.
No, I don't. Anyway.
They look perfect in your tube top.
Thank you. I know.
You're
it's
welcome.
kind of this outfit is two-piece, like I said. It shows a little bit of my stomach, which I'm not too excited about, but I like the color. It's green, and I'm wearing a sweater over it, so it's fine.
I think it's
age
really
appropriate.
very attractive.
Age appropriate.
Yeah. Okay.
I hate that.
Whatever.
I hate that. So Erik is wearing a T-shirt that says Laura Kane After Dark, and it has the Ukraine
You just touched
flag.
my nip.
I did. The colors of the Ukraine flag. And what we want to do is we want to sell these T-shirts to buy bulletproof vests, because that's what we were told, or that's what's needed in Ukraine right now. How sad.
Isn't that
That's
awful?
so sad. But there's a woman, okay, so the 43-year-old, now 45, is from the Ukraine. And he's going crazy because he really wants to be down there on the ground helping his people. In fact, he sent me a video of the streets he used to walk on. They're all torn up. Everything's gone. It sucks.
It's so sad.
So he goes, I have this friend who's down on the ground in Ukraine, and she says what they really need are bulletproof vests. So I thought maybe we can earn enough money from selling these T-shirts for $30 that we can make some money and buy a few bulletproof vests to save somebody's life.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's great. And it's going to a good cause.
Let us know if you guys would buy a T-shirt for $30, because you know what? Maybe we should just do it.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it and just hope for the best, because
we've got great people that listen. So.
We do. We really honestly do. On that note, I turned on the GoPro. or my little handy dandy GoPro.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know, a cool microcosm of life is...
What is that?
The dog park.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to a dog park?
I have.
I'm starting to go more and more. Because, okay, so I go
Does
to
Elvis like it?
He likes one dog park, but he doesn't like the other dog park. And I'll tell you which one. He loves the Dusty Roads Park, which is in OB. It's right off of Sunset Cliffs.
Oh, yes, I know.
Right
where
before
that
you
is.
go down into OB.
Uh-huh.
And it's big. It's got some grass, some dirt. It's got random chairs scattered around from people that have brought them over the years. And you just sit there and you just watch your dog run. Big. They have a area for little dogs, which is big, and they have a big area for big dogs too. So they have those separate. And Elvis loves it. He finds little friends, and there are these 4 guys that meet at the dog park every single day at noon. And they're these older guys, and they sit in their chairs and they just talk about politics and life and their kids, and they watch their dogs run around, and they, give them treats, and they have snacks, and it's like the coolest thing.
I love dogs.
Why have I not been part of this community before? And I go, can I sit with you guys? And they're like, sure, come on over. Then I took him to the dog park in Little Italy.
Uh-huh.
He was not having that.
Oh.
There's a big area for big dogs, and there's a smaller area, really small, for small dogs, which is fine. It's kind of got a step up too, like a little deck area. Mm-hmm. And they've got a area where you can buy coffee in there too.
Oh, that's nice.
It's really cool. It's very nice, but it's very urban. And for whatever reason, he doesn't like running around that park as much as he likes running around the big grassy area. So I don't know.
One of the perks of my jobs is I don't have a dog because I'm never home.
Right. Or you would.
Oh, I would probably have 20.
Look at that little monkey.
So this is Winston.
He's cute.
So he's a little toy Maltipoo who I adore. Look at that. Look at those lips.
Oh my God, he totally has lips.
Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen?
Oh my God, it's almost weird.
So I posted this on, I posted these. Isn't he the cutest thing?
He is so cute.
So I took him to lunch with me today. Falls asleep right in my arms.
You are the dog whisperer.
I really am. He's so cute. I'm madly in love with him. And then I have the best life. So then this is Izzy.
Okay. Oh my.
So this is her with her little barrettes in.
Let me see the barrettes. Okay.
And then this is her without them.
Oh my God. It's like this long, thick lock of hair that's like over her one eye.
I call it the Farrah Fawcett.
She's so cute.
She is so cute. So on Friday, I had a little bit of time. So I called my boss and I said, hey, can I borrow Winston for a little while? So I took him over to the dog park.
Which one?
Over in Mission Valley.
I didn't know there was one in Mission Valley.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's at Savita Park.
I don't know where that is.
It's right off of Friars Road.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's beautiful. So it was just he and I.
Only ones there at the dog park?
We were the only ones there at that time. So he is 14 or 15 weeks now, and he weighs all of about 5 pounds. He's just this
He's a purse dog.
Bundle of fur, yeah. So he's chasing after me, and I'm running backwards, and he's running after me, and I have little treats for him, and he sits and everything now, and he's so cute. One of my residents came in today, and she said, oh, my God, I saw you with him, and it was the cute. She said, we all just stood and watched you because it was so cute how you two interacted with each other. Like, I'm obsessed with him.
Aww.
My boss is always like, am I going to get my dog back? And I'm like,
What if he gave you his dog?
Oh, my God.
But you'd feel bad.
I would.
But you'd be able to take him to work.
Yes.
Would you have a dog if you could take him to work?
Probably.
Oh, my gosh. You deserve a dog.
No, I'm just never home enough. Not right now. I would definitely get a dog.
Yeah.
Once my life slows down.
Do you know what kind of dog you'd get?
I'd want like a medium size.
Like what?
Like a golden retriever or something like that.
Or or what are those? What's my son? Oh, Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah, something like that. Or like a lab. I love labs.
That's not medium. That's big. Oh. Isn't that big?
Well, I think like a Mastiff is big.
Oh, yeah. Those are huge. That's huge.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just love dogs so much.
I know. I love my little boy. Where'd he go? He's now on the couch. Me. He, like, when we drive, he has to have one foot on my arm at all times. Like he's holding my hand like
That's
this.
So cute. Like,
he just, yeah.
Would it help?
He just does this. He like holds it like this.
Would it help during the podcast if I just touched you somewhere?
No.
Well, that sounded filthy.
No.
But.
You are a fiend.
So, yeah, but I am telling you right now, look at this little one. This is Bambi.
Oh my gosh, she's cute. She's a little what?
A little Chihuahua.
Chihuahua, yeah.
Yeah. She's so cute.
Does everybody in your building have a dog pretty much?
Just about. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Are you still dog sitting and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
You probably make good money doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to keep it to myself so nobody else does it. Right? I'm not going to tell any more information. Why is my thing being so dumb right now? But I love the whole idea of a dog park and the people that are involved in dog parks and love dogs. People that love dogs seem to be really good people.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I love cat people too. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know about cats.
They're very independent.
I've never had a cat, so I don't know. I feel, to me, they seem very aloof.
They are. Like, they like to be pet when they want to be pet, but then they'll reach out and scratch your eyes out.
Not all cats do that,
No, not
right?
all.
Okay.
No.
You just don't know what you're going to get.
No, but I love all animals.
Yeah.
But dogs are just... Because I had a dog and a cat growing up.
Oh, you did? What was your dog's name?
Kimuk.
Who? What?
He was a Alaskan Malamute. And so Kimuk was a...
Kimuk?
Uh-huh.
Aww.
Yeah.
As an Eskimo name?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. He was huge.
What was your cat's name?
Saki.
Like the drink?
Saki. Yeah.
Cute.
Uh-huh. He was black and white.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep.
You could get a cat because they like to be alone, right?
No.
They don't care about being alone.
I can't deal with the litter box, though.
Oh, the litter box.
Yeah. I would rather clean up dog poop all day than deal with the
poop in your
sand
house
everywhere.
The sand. Oh my God. They have new contraptions.
I know,
that.
but I would get a cat that would want to shred everything. Like would shred my couch, my bed.
Oh, thank God I didn't get a dog that eats shoes and stuff. Because he's never torn up anything. Thank God.
Marla had, when she got, she had a little mini terrier named Lola. She's going to kill me for telling the story. But she lived in PB with some girlfriends, and we were on the phone one day, and she's like, yeah, we came home, and we were like, where are all these headbands laying around? And Lola had eaten the crotch out of all of her thong underwear. So so I was like, your dog has like an iron deficiency or something. That's gross. But it was just a bunch of like elastic waistbands.
Oh no.
All around the house.
God.
Yeah. That was so funny.
That's funny.
So
what's going on with you?
Just working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your host chat?
So over the weekend they had the big, I think it's called CRSSC or something like that. It's the big music festival that's down in Little Italy.
Oh, okay.
So two friends of mine that I've known for a while, they went with a group of friends. I'm not going to say their names just because I don't know how many people know what happened, but they were on the trolley, which is why I do not advocate the trolley at all. I know people have to take it. Sometimes it's somebody's only transportation,
right.
Or like when you go to these things, sometimes it's the only thing you can do because parking is such a nightmare
right.
down there. They were on the trolley, and they live downtown, so they were on the trolley on the way to Little Italy. There was a guy on the trolley that was harassing their group, saying inappropriate things. I'm not exactly sure what the whole context of the dialogue was. The guy pulled out 2 butcher knives and slashed one of my friend's face.
What?
Right above the left eye. And it was a doozy. The group that they were with managed to tackle him and get the knives away, and he was arrested. But that number it did. Oh my God. I can't believe it wasn't worse than it was.
Thank God he didn't poke her eye out.
Yeah, it was a him.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And but right above the eyebrow.
How scary.
And it is, I'll show you the picture. It is rough.
Oh no.
But he did not let that.
Did he go to the thing? Did he end up going to the show?
The second day, yeah.
He did?
You won't believe it when I show you the picture.
Of how well they...
Well, when you see the damage that was done, I'll show you the picture.
Did he go right to the doctor? I mean, right to the emergency room?
Yeah.
Thank God they got that guy arrested.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible. Just terrible.
Let me see it.
Oh, sorry, that's my...
What the hell was that?
That was a YouTube video of a little dog, But it's pretty rough. So I'll bring it up right now and show it to you.
So we're gonna have on Bromo from DSC. His name is Dave in real life, and that's what I've always called him because he used to work with Jeff and Jer. Damn, that is. Like, it looks like a giant caterpillar on the side of his eyebrow. Yeah, instead of an eyebrow, he has a giant caterpillar.
Yeah, it starts almost at the side of his right eye.
He's cute, too.
Oh, yeah, they're both very, very handsome.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, but I'm sure it will heal beautifully and everything will be fine, but.
Yeah, show him. Did you show him?
Well, I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, you can't show his face because, you don't want to.
But, just be careful when you're on the trolley because there are some crazy people out there.
That I need to be more, like Evan says, Mom, you're not like aware of your surroundings ever. Because I'm just always like, everybody's nice, everybody's kind, everybody just means the best for everybody else. And like, it's not true.
Right.
And I trust everyone. And my mom goes, Laura, you're just too trusting. You're too trusting. And I probably am. And like nothing bad like that's happened to me yet.
I'm going to give you mace, brass
my mom's
knuckles.
giving me all that stuff, but what do? I just throw it in my drawer.
You turn it into jewelry.
I just don't use it. I don't know. Like I found some mace in my drawer from my mom. She put it in a little pink. It's cute. It's pink.
I think you should put that in your purse right now.
I don't want to though because it totally jacks with a room in my purse. It's big. It's like this big.
Well, so what?
I know. But then by the time I get attacked, I'm going to like fumbling around in my purse for the mace.
You're going to be like, hold on.
I'm never going to find it. Yeah, hold on one second. Hold on while I find the mace. So anyway, I just got to be more.
They might wait.
Yeah.
Just kind of distract them with your big boobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
They're not that big.
But
they're bigger.
But they would definitely be a distraction for some horny guy that was trying to get your nubbins.
My nubbins. Okay, before we talk about this week, how it's been an awesome week for me so far.
I know. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll tell you all about it in a minute. First, we got to talk about Sammy's.
Oh, yes, we do.
See our glorious backdrop. Laura Kane After Dark and Sammy's. They came on board this month, and we love them. We love Sammy's. Sammy's is a place you can go with your whole family, even little kids like Sammy's. Because there's something for everybody in the entire family. I mean, the dad can get a steak. Mom can get salmon or pasta.
Salmon. Oh, the salmon's really good.
Right? And then the little kids can get macaroni and cheese and then the sundae or a pizza. It's just such a cool, and it's very affordable too.
Yeah, it
is.
What
I really like about Sammy's and being a family atmosphere. And I love the Mission Valley location. That's the one I've been to mostly because it's near my house. And the people in there are always so nice. The servers and the hostesses and hosts are very nice. And I like the little bar that's right up front there. I don't know where the bar is in the Del Mar Heights one.
So, the Del Mar Heights one, I believe, if I remember correctly, they just serve beer and wine. But the one in Mission Valley does have a full bar.
Still alcohol.
Yep.
Still fine for mom and dad to have some wine and a beer.
Still fine. Especially, it's not too far from the theater. So if you're in Del Mar, just go over and have a little
They have
something.
7 locations.
They do.
There's a Sammy's near you no matter what.
And if you've got the kids and they're of a certain age where they're a little rambunctious, wine and beer could be good.
Yeah, exactly. Wine beer is all you need. That's all you need. But there's a happy hour every single day.
Every day.
And you can get half price, I think. Oh, please let me half price. Appetizers and stuff. And the deals are really good because we got there when we went the one time, or one of the times, this last time I went. We got there right as it was ending, and she gave us the prices.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, and it was so affordable, and I loved that.
I could eat those chicken lettuce cups.
They are good.
4 days.
They are good.
They're really good.
And of course, the chopped chicken salad. And I get mine with no tomatoes. They always ask you, do you want tomatoes and olives? I said, no, just the olives.
Laura just says, I just like the chicken.
I just want the chicken. No, I actually like the lettuce in that one. I like that salad a lot. It's probably the only salad I do like.
I love the Thai chicken.
I like that one too, though. Like those. Are the
I like the salad, but then they have the Thai chicken pizza too.
Oh yeah,
which is delicious. So is the barbecue chicken.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I like that one too.
It's cool that they were able to make everything so good. Sammy's, we love Sammy's. Thank you. Okay, so this week has been very important to me and cool because on Monday I celebrated 15 years of sobriety.
Yay.
You know how I haven't been to meetings lately, which has been bad. And like I said, it's kind of like when you don't go to the gym for a while and it's hard to get back that first time. That's kind of how it feels to me anyway. Like, oh gosh, now everybody's going to ask where I was. And then I'm going to have to say, I don't know. I don't know why I haven't come. And then nah. So I decided, okay, I'm definitely going to a meeting on my birthday because I want to get my coin.
It was
token.
Really sweet.
I know.
With Rosie the Riveter. That was the best one I've ever seen.
Isn't it?
It was really cool.
My friend Denise, I said, will you please give me my coin? Because she goes to the meeting that I go to, and she said, of course. So she got me that one. I don't know where she got it, but it is awesome.
It's
on
awesome.
The Laura Kane After Dark Instagram page.
Yeah.
You can go see it. It's really cool.
It's really
and it
cool.
says 15. That's it. And it's pretty. So everybody in the meeting, what happens is you get your token and then you sit down after you speak. And then you pass it around. Everybody gives it a little bit of good juju, and so it goes around the whole entire circle.
Oh, that's awesome!
Back.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Everybody puts like good wishes and good intentions on the token, so it feels really good. So I decided to ask Denise to be my sponsor because I had a sponsor, Lori, and she goes to a meeting that I used to go to religiously on Monday nights. But then I started working Monday nights and I kind of fell away from that meeting, and therefore Lori, who lives in the East County. So, which is not an excuse, but that's just what happened. So I asked Denise and she said, of course, but you're going to be doing a lot of writing. I'm like, I probably need to do all that. I probably need to start, really doing my steps again. And because let's face it, like I probably was hanging on to this sobriety thing by the skin of my teeth because they say suddenly, like in the book, it'll say suddenly there's a drink in my hand. Like you go from not drinking to drinking and it happens like before you even know it. So you need to be, have a program of some sort.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought it'd be really cool to talk to somebody who's kind of in my same boat. He's been on the radio for a while. He hasn't been on for a while because he's been doing some other things, but Dave, otherwise known as Bromo.
Yes.
He was on Jeff and Jer in the early days, right when I started working with them, like a B100 and a little bit after that. And then he went on to work with Dave Shelley and Chainsaw, DSC, and that's where he kind of had his bottom. And since then, he has moved to some crazy ass backwoods town. I'm like, where are you living again?
So he's not is he still in California?
No. Oh no. He is so far away. Here he is. Oh no, this is his old number. Oh my gosh, let me get his new number up here. Hold on. He is working at a radio station. He goes, I left and I went away to rehab and I came back and, there just wasn't any jobs. I'm like, it's hard getting a job here in San Diego on the radio. And so he goes, they found one. Okay, would you put up the phone? Okay. Dave? It's not ringing. Hold on.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, there he is. Hi, Dave.
There I am.
I'm calling you
How are
Dave
you?
again instead of Bromo. I'm good.
Oh, that's okay.
You like that?
At least you're not calling me a-hole like most people do.
This is Erik. Erik, this is Dave.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Hey, Erik. Oh, God, Erik's got a radio. Boy, radio. Hey, Erik.
So I was just telling Erik and everybody about how this week has been awesome for me because I celebrated 15 years of continuous sobriety and it's not easy and a lot of days aren't fun, but the rewards are far outweigh the bad times. You know what I'm saying? Dave,
I do.
You've celebrated now 13 years, you have? So you're right behind me.
13, yeah. I had 13 last month.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on
Oh,
that.
thank you.
And
Thank you, Erik.
I would like you to tell your story. Like people that know you from DSC and they know you or kind of like you were there like Helper Boy Randy where you do all the crazy stunts and they'd make you run around naked in the parking lot or something crazy like that. But
too many times. Many times.
I know your pain, Dave.
Right, Erik?
So how...
There's nothing like flopping in the breeze with your shoes in your hand and that's it.
I remember watching that from the window of Star 94.1. You running around the parking lot, butt-ass naked. Oh, my gosh. Do you look back on those days and go, oh, my God, that was so fun? Or do you look back and go, what the hell?
Well, I did a lot of it for my best friend who was the host, and,
Dave?
that was my character. Can you hear me?
Yes. I was saying Dave is your best friend.
Oh, yeah, Dave. And I did it because I loved being on the show, and the people were cool, and it was part of my personality, And what's funny is that I was kind of the guy that lost all the bets, which was obvious. But as I became more of a member on that show, I realized that I was at a perfect opportunity where I could completely be myself. A loser, lousy at golf, lame with women, lame with women, and have all those real stories come out over there. You know that better than anybody, Laura, about how our lives become on the air.
Absolutely. And at some point it's like really hard, but in other ways it's like, oh my God, I'm getting paid to be my authentic self. And this is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I was at really at a no lose situation until alcohol took me into a different direction and said,
what happened?
I was one of those. Yeah, I was one of those kids in high school. You at the end of the year, you'd turn around and say, someone would say, "Are you new here?" And I'd say, "No, I've been sitting behind you all year." Like one of the kids that nobody knew and things like that. And I became addicted to running in my early teens, and I got hurt. Really didn't discover alcohol till my early 30s when I was a dishwasher at the Chart House. And it was 11 o'clock at night. It's about 5,000 degrees back in the dishwashing room, and this real cute waitress brought me a nice little green glass and said, "This is from the bartender." And it was filled with a ice cold beer that went down in about 0.2 seconds. And from there, I started doing the restaurant scene. When you're done working in a restaurant, you go out and blow off energy, and alcohol became more a part of my life. And then I went to a radio broadcasting school. I was the only student in the back of a tanning salon on Ocean Beach.
What? Wow.
American Dream Broadcasting School. That goes right around 1989, 1990. And I, after 6 weeks of going to class and just the teacher and I walking along in the ocean with my textbook, and we'd say, "All right, what did chapter 3 say?" "Oh my God, look at the gal over there. Holy moly." My teacher was checking out all the chicks while he was trying to, teach me things through the old used radio college book. After 6 weeks of that, and I put together a cassette that I was quite fond of, and he said, "Okay, now it's your job. It's up to you to send them out to cities all around." And I didn't really want to move, so I sent mine to Brawley. And I'll never forget, 3 weeks later, I get a letter saying, "Hey, thank you, Dave, but perhaps you'd be better off in a smaller market."
Then Brawley?
In Brawley.
Wow. God, do you have that letter still? Oh my God, that would be amazing.
I wish. And so I got a little bit irked, and I wasn't going anywhere with this. And the teacher was working at the radio station at the time, and that's where Jeff and Jer were. And he said, "I've got an internship available, and show up at 5 o'clock, 4:30 on Monday." Of course, my dad made me dress up in a suit and tie. And we all know, Laura, that morning people don't wear suit and ties unless you're a salesperson.
Right.
So I worked with Jeff and Jer there, and that's how I got my radio career started. But as I progressed and worked here and there, I eventually met Dave, and I was a member on the show from 1998 to 2008. And we became best friends. We golfed. But I really remembered my drinking becoming more and more heavy because I moved to Mission Beach at one point. And if you know anything about Mission Beach, that is like the Disneyland of alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
I found my little place right across the street, restaurant called Saska's. And remember that place?
Yeah.
That's just a crawl and it's just a crawl from my place that was across the street. And so as I became more and more familiar and well known on the show, it made me feel like people knew me, and I liked that feeling. It didn't make me conceited or anything, but for the first time in my life, people would recognize who I was, and people were buying me drinks and things like that. I kept doing the golf bet payouts and walking into Walmart and buying cucumbers and cucumbers and the condoms in a thong and trying to go up to the.
Oh my God!
And I love the part that, like I said, I could drink, and it was great, and I was having a blast, and I'd come into work hungover as heck, and still perform because I was a complete loser. Most of my life was really failing, but people, I think, found that endearing because everybody likes to listen to somebody who maybe makes them feel better about themselves.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
But my drinking became more and more heavy, and I found myself at different times. One time I had passed out at the doorstep with my keys trying to get in, and I had gone to the bathroom, number one, in my pants, and my roommate took a lovely picture and sent it to Dave and whoever from the promotion department. Ended up on the website. And when I saw my eyes and my bloated face, I was shocked. I was shocked. I was like, wow, that doesn't even, it looked like someone that had been torn up and beat up. But I continued until about 2008 or so. I noticed that I wasn't able to, eat on a regular basis. I knew that I had to put food in my stomach because now I was really literally drinking. Laura, if you can relate to this, I was literally, on the weekends, literally drinking around the clock. I would get up early and start, and I love drinking late at night and passing out.
Did you have the shakes if you didn't drink? Could you get like really withdrawal and horrible feeling?
And this was when the bad times came in 2008 or so. When the shakes came, I'll never forget. They would never go away until I got home and put back a tall glass of straight vodka, and then maybe the shakes would subside for a little bit. And then I would try to force some TV dinner down my throat and wake up and have the shakes start within a half hour or so. It got to a point where I kept telling myself, I don't know if I'm going to stroke out walking down the hallway pretty soon or not. My blood pressure was sky high. I felt my body just bubbling. And I knew that if I kept this destructive path, I was probably going to have a heart attack or something, because I just couldn't tell when it was going to happen. But the shakes on anybody, I wouldn't want to wish it on anybody. They don't go away until you put pure vodka in your body. But there was a time where I had to go out and do another naked thing. And I remember looking at myself, my body was ravaged. I was losing a lot of weight. And I said to somebody, look, I think it's time I might need, I got to get some help. And of course I went outside and finished whatever I needed to do. And they took me to a place in La Mesa called, API.
Oh yeah, I know API. I've been to meetings there. Yeah.
They took me there for detox. And I stayed there for 2 or 3 days, and they had suggested to me, you need to go to outpatient programs. And I'm like, okay, I just spent 3 days here. My body's beat up. Now I'm away from work, excused for this, taking some time off. And guess where I went? I went right back home to Mission Beach. And I realized, because I'm such an alcoholic back then, and still am, I realized that when you go to outpatient, you can totally fool the system if you're not ready to quit. I mean, you go 3 days a week, you go 3 nights a week, and they might give you the bottle test, where you go to the bathroom in a bottle, the piss test. And if they do give that to you, you know that you can go and drink all the way up to a certain time and then lay off it for a little bit and go in there with your friendly little bottle and give it to them. And
is that what you did?
Well, I did. I got about a week into this program, and I said to myself, first of all, I hate going to meetings. I can't stand the energy drinks that I'm trying to drink instead of the real thing. And outpatient program, there I am at home across the street from all the bars and fun. And I started pretending to everybody that I was doing great. Here I am. I'm not drinking. I'm on the road to recovery. Well, I didn't last long. I relapsed. I was in the hospital just for a tad. And I got out and I went right back to API. And that's where I went and did some more detox and ended up in the same classroom. And the teacher came over and said, okay, what makes you think you're going to make it this time? Because I really wanted to put my fist down on the desk. This time I know what I need to do. And this time I'm going to do this and do that. And I really want it. But I didn't. I thought I did at the time. And, of course, I went to the same outpatient 3 nights a week, and it lasted maybe a week and a half. And one night I realized, hey, you know what? Let's just fool around with some fake alcohol. Let's get some fake beer, non-alcoholic beer. Yeah. It looks like the same thing. It kind of tastes like the same thing. And, boy, after 3 or 4 of those, I said to myself, this isn't cutting it. And I tried one beer, it set me off another run, and I bombed miserably and had to tell everybody at work that I failed again. And this time I went to McDonald's 28-day rehab. We call them a spin dry. It's over there at Kearney Mesa. I don't even know if it's there anymore. Stayed in a hospital there for 28 days, went through Christmas and New Year's Eve, and I'll never forget New Year's Eve. All of us alcoholics and drunks were in our rooms, and they woke us up and they said, come on out, everybody to the kitchen. And I look out there and it's like 11:45 New Year's Eve, and they're all putting and assembling plastic champagne glasses.
Okay.
And I'm looking at them and they're, come on over here and help. And we're putting together these plastic champagne glasses. And then right about 2 minutes before midnight, they bring out some, two big, huge bottles of apple cider that looks like champagne. They uncork the cork. And I'm thinking, man, if this isn't a trigger, I don't know what is.
I know. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound right.
No, it was not. So I graduate from this 28-day thing, and they give me a paper that says, hey, you're good to go. Go back to work. And I had a week off to think about going back to work. And here's where the counselor said to my mom, look, he can't go back to his house. He cannot go back to that place. That place is dangerous. But I cornered my mom off to the side, and I said, look, Mom, they suggested a bunch of stuff. That's just one of the things that they think that I probably shouldn't do. But I'm ready, Mom. I lied to my mom. I'm ready because I wanted to go back home.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave my cats in my place. And I went back home. And I made it for about a week and a half because in that span, I got laid off of work the second that Obama came walking up to the podium.
Is that when we all got laid off?
And I got that phone call.
Oh.
Right when Obama was about ready to speak, my phone rang and I pushed mute, took a bite of my lousy little bagel and my coffee and was let go. Because I had a letter all set saying, you're all set to go back to work.
Oh.
And so I lasted till February 14th. And this is right after I got out of that whole month spin dry thing. I get out and I last till February 14th, Valentine's. I'm listening to all these people walking around like Noah's Ark, a bunch of pairs of dates and people whooping it up and watching people walking around carrying beers. And I'm up on the third floor and and I'll never forget it. Like a thief in the night, I looked at my energy drink, which I couldn't stand anymore. And I looked at the sea of empty blood pressure pills that I hadn't renewed for quite a while on my cardboard desk because I'm such a fancy guy. I looked at my keys and a voice said, I'm sick of this. Let's man, you've lasted a couple of weeks, man. You're doing pretty well. This little voice said, let's give it a go, man. And I walked through the alleyways of Mission Beach so nobody would see me because they all knew what I was going through and all the bars knew me. And I walked about a mile and a half to Ralph's and I bought a huge, big, tall can of English 800 or something like that. And as soon as I stuck my hand through the cooler, my mind said, well, you're done. You've relapsed, buddy. You haven't even had your first drink. I walked back, cracked that open, took about 2 or 3 sips and started crying because I knew the system. I knew that the relapse this time was going to be worse. And I lasted a couple of days. My stepbrother, right around the 17th, had flagged a police officer down because they were worried about me because I wasn't answering my phone calls. And you know how you make lies when you say you're going to be somewhere and you're not. And those are bad signs. Police officer had gone up the second floor and opened up Jimmy, the screen door. And they knocked on my door and I didn't see it coming. And I had my door closed and they walked in and I'm staring down at the ground and I have an empty glass of booze on my cardboard desk with empty blood pressure bottles all over it. And the first thought that was in their head was I was trying to commit suicide because they thought I downed all those pills. So the same paramedics guys that had taken me away a month ago showed up again, took me to the hospital, strapped me down. My blood pressure was like 19,000 over 555 trillion. whistles and bells were ringing, and when I got out, my body was so emaciated, and then once again, this is my third relapse that I had in the span of like 6 months. And so a good friend of mine said, we're going to get busy and try to get you into a place. And we didn't know where, because we went back at Chris McDonald's and they said, hey man, you were just here. Your bed's barely cold. I mean, you were just here. We can't get you in that quick. So a guy that worked there said, I know of a place out in Campo. And I said, where the hell is Campo? It's about 35 miles east of Alpine. And he said, it's called the Freedom Ranch.
Oh, the Freedom Ranch. That's right.
He goes, it's a recovery home for men. It's pretty rough. I went there. I suggest you go out there. As we're driving out there, following Sunday with my stepbrother, who's also a recovered alcoholic, we're going through miles and miles of nothing. We pull into this dirt lot with people, these big, huge guys with tattoos throwing horseshoes. And I pull in there, and I'm scared to death because I'm the exact opposite of a big, huge guy with tattoos throwing horseshoes. I'm this skinny, wimpy looking guy. And I said to my stepbrother, I don't belong here. And he goes, yeah, I think you do. So we went in and we listened to a meeting, and I talked to the guy, and this is my last place that I really could go. I didn't want to try an outpatient plan anymore because I bombed so bad there. This is a place where I was going to live for 120 days. I put my name on a list. I went and stayed at a friend's house who basically saved my life and let me stay there. And after about 3 weeks, I got that call. I'm getting my clothes and stuff together. And I'm being driven out there, and I show up, and I'm scared as heck because now I'm starting a brand new life. Away from all the wonders of being on the radio and being in Mission Beach, where I'm right across the street from the bay and the freaking beach that's across the other side. Now I'm living in Campo, and it's really hot, and we're in this room. And my first day there, we go to our meeting. They had meetings every night. I sit in the front row. That's where all the new guys sit. And there was 40 men in there. And for the meetings at night, we would have outside people show up, like men and women. And I remember during the day for my first class, we went through the first four of the 12 steps. That was our class for 6 weeks or whatever. But I remember the very first day, he has me introduce myself to him and to everybody. And I told him alcohol. He said, I want you to take a look around you to your left and right. Turn around and take a look at all the guys in the back. And I'm looking around, and he goes, look, after about a year, the odds are that 3 of you will still be sober. And I'm like, this is bull.
Wow.
He goes, yeah. He goes, about 3 of you will be still sober. A lot of you will be missing. A lot of you will be dead. And that's just how it goes. And I'm like, yeah, right. Of course, years and years later, I realized how actually true he was. Mm-hmm. I stayed there for 120 days. But when I was getting to the point where I was almost out of there, some guys came over and told everybody how important it was that you got to have an exit plan. Mm-hmm. You got to have an exit plan. You can't just say, okay, 120 days, I'm good. I'll go back home, or I'll go back and go back to that same place I was at in Mission Beach. These 3 guys came in and told us all about this place called Pathfinders in Golden Hills.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Pathfinders, there are 3 houses basically on the same street, on Cedar Street, I think it is. And you live in the first house for 30 days. You live in the second house for another 30 days. I'm sorry, first 3 months of the first house. You go around the corner of the second house for 3 months. The last house you come to, which is ironically right next to the first house, is basically where you go and live your last 3 months. And now here you are trying to get yourself back into society. You're making some plans to when you get out, looking for jobs. And you've made those 3-month progressions. I still at this point, and now I'm almost a year sober through the full process, I still hated the meetings. I still sat there and listened to people bored to hell. And I still thought I was a big shot. Here I am, this ex-radio guy. And some people knew who I was in there. And there's got to be a camera crew. Don't you think, Laura, following me that I don't know of? There's got to be people with microphones. There's Bromo over there. Let's see what he looks like. And because I'm this big shot, and I had this big stigma about me that I was this radio star, and that my life was just a pattern now, and I was going to be much better. And so I didn't have a sponsor like everyone else had at that point. I listened to people at the meetings. I couldn't stand it. I barely made them through it. And the part that saved my life and really turned me around was when every morning we would have, Monday through Friday, we would have all the guys get together in a big group, and we would talk about how we were feeling. And we passed around these inspirational books, and if you wanted to read out of them, you could. And some guys wouldn't talk. Some guys are just burned out to hell. They just got there. Some guys are just really tired of living there. And came across a guy that had moved in right when I got there. We had both come to the steps of Pathfinders almost the same day. So I'll just call him Tim. Tim and I, he was a little bit younger than me. We had a son. And Tim and I used to like to hang out on the front porch of the first house, and we would smoke cigars and talk about how when we got out of Pathfinders, we were going to become big superstars again. I was going to get back on the radio and have my own show and make a boatload of money, and he was going to get back to his job. I think he did real estate. So we had our little grand illusions of what we were going to do. And when we got to the second house, they would let us go sometimes on the weekends. So we used to go to a sober house and cook our favorite meal so we didn't have to eat for once at Pathfinder. So we would make steak and all that stuff. And Rob and I were doing great. Well, one weekend, it was football weekend, and Rob's brother came into town. They wanted to watch football, and so guess where they went? They went to a bar. Rob's brother convinced them into drinking a beer, and apparently he had 3 or 4 more. We didn't see Rob again because Rob's bags were packed later on that night, and we were told that he was gone. And I wanted to find out where. Well, we found out where a couple of days later in our morning meetings. And I'll never forget it, too. This is when still I had no ambition into progressing into AA. I absolutely was counting days till I got out of there. Our manager comes in and says, I need a moment. I need you guys to be quiet. He says, Rob was found hung. He hung himself in the closet in a hotel.
It happened, Dave. Damn it.
And I'll tell you what, when I heard that, time froze for, this sounds crazy, but I looked at the floor and I said, dude, there's no cameras around, dude. I said, this is the insanity of the disease. I kept remembering what they say, the insanity of the disease. This is a guy that was as normal as I was, although he didn't run around naked or anything like that, but he had a son. All I could think of is what he was thinking the last 2 seconds of his life when he took his life, knowing that he had a family. And I said to myself, dude, if you don't get busy, and I mean, if you don't get busy now, if you don't seek out a sponsor and start the steps and start progressing forward, time is only ticking to when you may relapse and your blood pressure may kill you, or who knows, you may take your life. And I got a sponsor, and one of my sponsors didn't work out very well. He told me he hated women, this and that, and he was not going to be my best friend. And Laura knows that it's okay. It's up to you to change sponsors. You can have as many as you want.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be ideal for you. And one of my sponsors actually works for a high-powered radio show in your building. And he was my sponsor, a younger kid. And he took me through the steps. And he said, listen, man, we're going to take these steps as slow as possible. And so I took the steps and I did what I needed to do. I started listening to people when they spoke. And that was one of my favorite things now, which is ironic.
Meetings?
When people were, I listened to every single person from the newcomer to the person that is as raw as hell, who's only been there 2 days. And when I was asked to speak, I would go up and speak what was on my mind with no problem at all. No, Laura, you know this too. In the rooms of AA, when you get used to it, there's no room for being nervous. You go up and you say what you believe in and what worked for you and bring up thoughts that are in your head, because if I hadn't had the realism in that moment, unfortunately, because Ken took his life, I don't know where I would be. Because if I didn't get busy, definitely the law of averages were going to take my life too, without a doubt. So I get out, I graduate, and I didn't have a job because Mr. Big Shot and me. Everyone keeps saying, "Wait for the miracle." And for me, I kept thinking the miracle was going to be a hot blonde that would drive by with a boatload of money and cigars and say, "Hey, here's your miracle." I was thinking that everyone's going to hire me right away. Dude, they'll hire you right away because you're this big shot. Now, I still had that ego going, that ego of like, oh, come on, you're Bromo. When you get out of here and you're on your feet, somebody will hire you. Well, that's not true. And I wasn't that much of a big shot. One of the coolest things that hit me was when the obsession was lifted. And I'll tell you what that means real quick. When I was at Pathfinders, and it was about 11 months sober, of course, I was always upset about things with girls and things like that, like some girl I had a crush on. And I always lay my heart on my sleeve. And I went to talk to the manager in the building about this girl for 25 minutes. And he goes, "You know what? Congratulations." I said, "What, for me bombing out with another girl?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "It appears to me that the obsession has been lifted on you." And I go, "What do you mean by that?" And he goes, "You haven't mentioned alcohol in the last 25 to 30 minutes. You haven't even thought about it, have you?" I said, "No, I haven't." And I said, "I haven't." I walked out of his office. I walked over to the house that I was in. I had a steak that we cooked on our little barbecue outside. And I said, "You know what? It's a Saturday night. I'm sober, and I didn't think of alcohol." Wow. And I thought that was one of the coolest feelings that I had in that early time of my journey, Mm-hmm. And just to speed everything up, I finally found a job when I got out of the house and into a home that I was living with two marvelous people that opened up their doors for me and let me live there. I became a bill collector for 3 years. Let me tell you.
Wow.
No offense to bill collectors, but oh my God, is that one of the almost god-awful jobs on the planet.
3 years. Jesus.
3 years wearing a shirt and tie with no hat. But I got a job offer from someone that used to work in San Diego to come out to Fargo, North Dakota.
That's where you are. I'm trying to think of where you
Fargo.
live. No, he lives somewhere even more remote.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll get it, and I'll be real quick with that too. So I say to myself, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I love San Diego so much. It's my home. But, I hate this job. And here's a chance to get back in the radio again. If I move to Fargo, I'll be making a whopping $20,000 a year. So I said, yeah, I'll take it. I remember they got a plane ticket for me. And the day before I was going to fly out to Fargo, I rewatched the movie Fargo. And in the first 10 minutes, I stopped it and I went, what the hell am I doing? Because, Fargo's pretty, pretty
bleak,
depressing.
Yes.
Bleak. So I fly out to Fargo and it's 33 degrees and I am just shriveling my you-know-what off. And the guy's not wearing pants. He's wearing shorts. And he's like, oh, it's pretty warm out here today. 30 degrees. I had never seen snowfall. Never had been in snow. I'd never seen snow. Coldest I'd ever been until I moved to Fargo was probably 40 degrees somewhere because I never went up to the mountains in San Diego. But I worked at Fargo. I went to a meeting out there once a week in a Holiday Inn. I kept going to meetings. I loved it. But after a year at working in Fargo, I couldn't stand the country music. And no offense to country music, I couldn't stand the radio station. I found a job in a place called Minot, North Dakota. So it's Minoc, and everybody. Minot, North Dakota. And in that process of working back with the company again that you're with, in the 4 years that I worked there, then my last 2 years, my boss says to me one morning, hey, they want us to kind of individually come up with podcasts and try them out, either you with a partner or something. And I go, what do I know about podcasts? And what am I going to talk about? Bombing out with women, which could be a very, very long podcast. And she goes, why don't you talk about what you're serious about? And I said, recovery. Ooh. Yeah. And so I started a podcast called There Is a Way Out. And you guys know how podcasts are. It's a different animal.
It is.
It's an amazing field. And when you first start out, I think my first one was like 7 minutes.
Yeah. Same with ours.
But then I learned to come up with more of an intro, and I learned to bring some guests on, and I learned to tell my story. So I basically told my whole story in 30 episodes, intertwined with guests who came on and told their story, talked about how it's important to have a higher power, and said, I use that vehicle for recovery. And when I got let go again, which was 2 years ago, I moved here to another radio station, another radio company, which I'm at now. So I've restarted There Is a Way Out on a platform called Anchor.
Okay, I've heard of that.
And you know what the coolest thing is? Well, then I want to ask you something, Laura.
Okay.
The coolest thing is, if I lived in San Diego, I would go to Freedom Ranch or Pathfinders at least once a week. Because I remember when I was living there, I absolutely said to myself, I will never be back at this place. I will never walk around here. It's awful. It's depressing. But the last time I went back to San Diego, I actually had a chance to see both of those places. And I walked the grounds that I was at when my life was in such a whirlwind of hell. And I remember looking around and fond memories came up rather than awful ones. Memories that I thinking about where is my life going at this point? I am such a disaster, but going back to these two places that saved my life is pure heaven to me, pure heaven to me. And that was the coolest thing. And for you to reach 15, which is, you and I were talking about how it's the greatest single day of your life.
It is better than your birthday by far. Real birthday.
A trillion times, right? Trillion times better.
Trillion times.
As soon as you get up and you say the third step prayer, which I try to do every morning, and then I just go on and I have this big old smile on my face. People are asking me, and I tell them it's my birthday. And of course, oh, wait a minute, what birthday? 13th. And then at first they don't get it. No, it's my sobriety birthday. And they're kind of like, well, that's cool. And I go, yes, it's way more cool. I hate my real birthday, which is in May.
Mine is too.
Is there that? Yeah, but you're not as old as I am. I'm turning 61, if you can believe it or not.
There's no way you're that old. I'm sorry.
There's no way I'm that old.
Oh,
you're
my
still
goodness.
so young in my mind, but you sound young.
There's no way.
You sound young.
You know it.
Yeah, you do.
But the best thing about having this podcast, and it's greater than any other compliment I've received from years and years ago if I made someone laugh or if I did something stupid and made someone laugh. And, I was on that billboard for 10 days back in the year 2000. Remember when the Chargers started 0-10?
Yeah.
And Dave put me on a billboard and said, you can't come down until they win.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, I had more people always come up and ask me about that. But to me, anybody that sends me an email or comes up to me at a meeting and says, listen, I saw you first speak, and I was in that front row at Freedom Ranch, and I'm still sober, and I'm like 8 years sober.
Oh,
and I'm
God. That's the best feeling.
And I heard you speak, and I'm like, something clicked. And I just say, dude, you did it on your own. You surrendered. And as you know, Laura, the bottom line is for anybody, you can fake it to yourself and fake it like I did through the outpatient programs and even almost faked it through Pathfinders, if it hadn't been for that untimely death, I don't know if I ever would have surrendered completely, 100%. I don't know if I ever would have. Mm-hmm. And, you know, to this day, when people say, my dad, who passed away 2 years ago, always used to get on the phone with me. You still got to go to those meetings? Isn't there a pill you can take? Aren't you recovered?
Yeah.
And as you know, Laura, I'm never recovered.
No.
I'll never be recovered.
We still have that stinking thinking.
We do, and it's right around the corner. Like, I could hang on the phone right now and be so happy and think that I did such a great job, and I could go right down the street and buy one of those fake beers or actual beer and think, oh, I deserve a beer, do you think? I could test the waters. I can't. Ever again.
It happens suddenly.
And real quick, I think if this is okay to mention, I don't want to bore you guys. Don't want to I don't want to bore Erik either, but a little story about a bra and a pair of panties that someone had brought you when you were going through your.
Oh, Tommy. Yeah. When I was at 5150, like you were, and not locked down for 3 days, the police also came to my house, also handcuffed me and took me out of my home because I threatened to commit suicide, which I didn't mean, but I said it to my then husband, who then called the police. I was in the shower at the time. So they came, they took me out of the shower. They told me to get dressed. I put on just whatever I could find. And then they took me to County Mental Health, which is a whole different animal, and then to Mesa Vista Hospital, where Tommy came and snuck up to the 4th floor, which was totally locked off. Like, you couldn't get up there. There was nobody that could get up. But of course, Tommy got up there, and I said the one thing I needed was a bra because I had no bra, and I just had this T-shirt, and like, I didn't feel comfortable. And so he went out to Target and brought me a bra, but it was brown, like dark brown. Like, who buys a brown bra? It was just so funny to me. But that is like how good of a friend he is and was to me back then. I mean, who goes out and buys his friend a bra? I mean, that was like my necessity. I needed that on a toothbrush. It was crazy.
Well, how scared were you?
Oh my God, I was terrified. I was crying and screaming. They had to give me a sedative shot because I was so hysterical. I'm like, where are my kids? When am I going to see my kids? What's going on? I don't understand what's happening. It was hard.
It's such a magical climb what you did. And it was well known because we all missed you. Do you realize now that I haven't seen you in person since all that time?
I know. You're right.
And what a climb that you did, and every journey is different for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I was telling you this on the phone too, that I hope that you're aware of how many lives you may have saved with your story. I hope you are, because there's a lot. And think about the most gratifying thing you can do in this world, rather than putting your clothes on after running naked through over the past 1,000 people watching you. The most gratifying thing and the most rewarding thing is saving someone's life and having them say that they turned everything around and they're still sober.
The best feeling in the world.
And they say gifts of sobriety. I've got a ton. My sister, she's this close to writing me off because I'd lied to her many times. My sister wanted me gone. I couldn't buy a pencil with my credit back then. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Just personal growth and personal confidence. I'm still a butt ugly dude, but way I feel better about myself, the way I carry myself, because I know that I'm in control of my life. That bottle is still out there to take it away from me, but I'm the one that makes the decisions now.
Mm-hmm. And Dave, I think that you being on here telling your story is in my gut is telling me that somebody's listening to this right now and they are turning because of you, turning to the light. I do believe that. That's why we had you on, because I knew you had an amazing story, and I just know that somebody's going to log on to this and hear it, and you're going to change someone's life. So thank you for telling your story.
Well, you're a sweetheart. And all I want to mention is if you go on Facebook and you look up, I have a group page and I'm very proud of it. And I started this 3 years ago. All you got to do is type in "There Is a Way Out." I'm not sure if you have to send me an invite or anything. Please
Okay.
do, because
Okay.
I love having as many members on there as possible. They all look out for each other. They all write stuff. And
Oh,
when
I
people
love
are
that.
in trouble. And I'm just so grateful and really honored that both of you, I don't know how much airtime I just ate up. I apologize if I
No,
got
don't. You know how
got bored.
podcasts are. They can go forever.
What is the longest podcast you two have ever done?
Like an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not that long. Maybe
Hour
not.
and a half.
What about you?
I think I was about an hour and 10, but I had a guest on, you know.
Yeah.
I so appreciate just the fact that you let me mention certain things, and because this is therapy for me, you know.
Yeah.
I try to go to a meeting once a week or twice during my lunch hour, but you know, I moved here when there was COVID going on, and COVID was ugly and everything was closed, so Zoom meetings became quite popular
Yeah.
and things like that, but because it's so easy to fall off, you know, a lot of my friends, unfortunately during the COVID, I ran across so many people on Facebook that had said, "Hey, did you hear about John?" And these were private messages, and a lot of people that I knew had gotten so disgruntled. And, you know, as you know, Laura, the idle time is the worst time for certain people.
Absolutely.
You know, I know it is for me when I look in the mirror and try to figure out which way I'm going to comb my hair when I wake up.
COVID was hard for a lot of people. Yeah.
So I mean any time of the year, and if it's COVID or not, I got the typical radio disc jockey face. I don't have Eric's voice though.
No.
I want to switch with Erik.
Dave. Now, is it true? I remember this one factoid about you, and it's about your penis. Now, don't you have certain, like, didn't you, like, aren't you able to put, like, a straw through the top of it or some weird thing?
What?
Don't you have some, like, hole or something? Like, I know this is completely off topic and probably not appropriate, but.
Oh, it's appropriate for me.
Okay,
Erik,
good.
check this out.
Now listen to this.
Years ago on the show, there were these guys touring the country. They called them so I can't say the PE word you just said.
You can say penis.
Penis?
Oh, okay, there we go. They were like the penis puppets. They were
Penis puppets.
guys.
Puppetry of the penis?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
There were like 2 or 3 of them. They had shaggy curly hair. They were like from Australia. I could be wrong there, but they toured the country, like going.
I saw
Making
that.
them into hamburgers and
Yes,
hot
I
dogs.
saw that
Yeah.
show.
Me too.
It was the most disturbing thing
It
I've
was so
ever seen.
disturbing.
Okay, so normally when the phone would ring and I'm down the hallway and our producer would say, Bromo, get to the phone, because that's how we did our phone bit. Why? Dave wants you on the air. And I'm like, oh, here comes trouble. I'm going to go have to walk up to 7-Eleven naked and buy a coffee and buy everyone else coffee. I don't know what he was going to have me do. But he remembered the straw trick. There's a little flap on the edge of Mr. Happy, a little flap of skin with a hole. And so a long time ago during my restaurant craziness, I realized I could drink a beer through my penis.
No
By sticking.
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So they get these penis puppet guys in and they sit them down, and Dave goes, "Oh, we got a surprise for you." And this was after they were doing stuff with their boys down below, like shapes of like Burt Reynolds or shapes of like
I know.
the Statue of Liberty. They go, "We got a trick you may have not seen." So I come walking in there, and this time I'm actually okay to show this show. So I took a ton of straws and put them together one by one,
Oh,
and I put it into a Coke can, and I drank a Coke right through.
no way. You know what?
That's notorious.
You just became my idol.
That is incredible.
Oh, excellent.
Forget about all the sober stuff. Now you're his idol.
I'll tell you what, Laura, one of these days I'll make a video for you so you can show Erik. How about that? So
my
we can
God,
see-
that would be
Totally into that.
That would be the best thing ever.
Totally into that.
Only if you promise you don't put it on the website, because I've heard that a trillion times.
I
Yes.
promise.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Laura, I can see you forgot about it.
Oh my, you did? I'm sorry.
It's not the first time that somebody listens to us to send us a picture of their penis.
Oh, I know. We get dick pics a lot.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
And then Eric will make them into funny shapes and funny designs. I'm like, here's another one.
I'm really good at the art app.
Yes. He makes them into like
So
birds and.
Those three penis puppet guys, they were looking at me like I just sawed it off with a guillotine. They're like, dude, what are you doing? Dude.
That's crazy.
This story took a whole different turn because I thought you were going to say, once, one time at band camp, I got a Prince Albert. That's where I thought that's whole was coming from.
No. It's just a own little thing.
I've actually perfected it into scary moves sometimes. One time I took a steak knife and I showed an ex-girlfriend and I go, watch this. What are you doing?
Oh,
and I took a steak knife, a thin steak knife, and I went, watch this. Right through.
No way.
Notice ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, that is one hell of a party trick.
Yeah, that is the party trick.
And she's like, you're not going to come over here and cut my steak now with that, are you? And I'm not. But that steak knife inspired me to actually propel that straw trick into trying the steak knife trick, and it actually worked.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Like at Christmas, I'd hang like Christmas balls and everything from
I know.
it.
You could hang things from it.
Oh, wow.
Car keys, all kinds of things.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
Well, Dave, I really appreciate you being on with us and telling your story, and I know that it helps you because it sure helps me when I tell it too. So I really hope that somebody, and I hope I'm on your podcast someday soon. That would be great. I'd love it.
Oh no, we're gonna make a schedule off the air if you can. And Eric, it was nice meeting you.
You too, Dave.
Both completely made my week. I told you I'm very honored, and now I go try the straw trick now.
Okay, go try the straw trick. We're talking to Dave Bromo Abramowitz. He is now in BFE, North Dakota, but he's on the radio. He has a podcast. There is a way out, and where can they find it? On Anchor?
It's on There Is a Way Out on my Facebook. It's a group page called There Is a Way Out.
All right,
I just joined.
Excellent. Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
So you don't need an invite.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just joined.
Excellent, Eric.
Okay, I'm going to join too.
Thank you, man.
Hey,
thank
no
you
problem.
Guys so much.
Thanks, Dave. Love
Bye,
you.
Dave.
Have a great night, San Diego. Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
That's awesome.
I know. What a cool story. Oh, my God. Amazing story. Amazing.
That was my favorite story ever.
The penis thing? Yeah. I know. I had to bring that up. I know. I was like, oh, my God. When I was talking about it, I was like, kind of reel it back in. That probably wasn't appropriate after all this other stuff. Well, on that note, I think we talked about everything we need to talk about tonight.
We did.
It's a long night.
It is.
And with that, a great night.
It was.
It's been a great week.
And in celebration of your 15 years, I'm not going to prolong it. What do you think of that?
Oh, my God.
But
that is a massive
Miss
gift.
Lee would like to come in.
No. This is my birthday. I want a clean break. Clean.
B, do you think she'd like to say happy birthday to you?
Miss Lee, no.
Maybe Drake too.
No. I do not want any more guests on. I think it's time to end.
They want to come by really quick. They're waiting with bated breath outside. They just want to.
Okay.
Little Ken. Hi, little Ken.
Hi, Mrs. Lee. Or Miss Lee, sorry.
Oh, your boobies look so beautiful in that top.
Thank you.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you, Miss
I'm so
Lee.
proud of you.
That's very nice of you to say that.
And my boyfriend, Drake, is here.
Oh, your boyfriend now. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. What's up?
What's up, Drake? Can you relate to some of the story, Dave's story?
Yeah, with his dick.
No.
Oh.
The good part.
Oh, that part. Yeah, well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe I'll, check it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Drake.
You want to go out?
No.
Why?
Because I can't.
Well, not now.
I just can't ever.
Why, man?
I just can't.
You're single, ready to mingle.
What?
Maybe I just had a stroke. Oh, I better take my blood pressure medication. I don't know what just happened.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Well, hey, congratulations. I'm very
you.
proud of you, too.
Thank you.
I'm going to go bang Miss Lee.
Oh, my God.
Drake, oh my
God.
This is a disaster. This is a disaster. Love your podcast.
Love your podcast.
Yay! Love you, my sweet babies.